In Wisconsin. Oh, Annie Lennox to start the show is amazing. Great job by our producer, Alex Strofe. I believe Brad Nortman has a surprise for us in the second hour of the show.
Sure do.
And of course, the 414 hour at 4 stays the same because Kyle Wallace nailed his song selection for Kyle Brust-Nortman. 800-990-3776. Ooh, I like that, how it has the lyrics going. Strofe, I love this. I love you. How much do you hate me right now?
To a maximum degree.
Yeah.
It's too easy to get to your heart.
What do you mean?
Just a little bit of music and all of a sudden.
No, it's this song. This song is like.
Hey, I got to be honest, though. The odds at Betty singing today, we're at like minus 300, and he hasn't done it yet.
That's because I'm trying to be a professional.
Yeah, he wanted to, though.
Oh, I wanted to belt it out.
What a sentence that was. Ben Brush trying to be a professional. First time for everything.
It's hard not to smile when you hear that song.
Yeah, isn't that the goal?
It feels a little bit like a 90s TV show entrance, like a little Full Housey, it's very feel good.
Yeah, I mean, it's positive. It gives me a lot of good energy, for sure.
That's what we want.
I don't know if I feel like it's a great opening to a show.
I don't give a damn what you think.
But I like the song.
Kyle Wallace, our Packer backer. Brad Nortman, our Super Bowl 50 runner-up, and UKBN Nation at 800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line list is more. You can see our beautiful faces on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. All right, so somehow, some way, this is going to be the thesis of our entire show moving forward because Kyle, who used to be 24 hours behind the sports news cycle, is somehow going to move even further away with his new show from noon to 1 on 101.7 The Truth.
I'm trying, fellas. I'm trying. Today wasn't the day.
News of the day over at Hallis Hall, where championships are built over in Chicago. Ben Johnson was introduced and met the media for his opening press conference. And Strofe, I don't know, do you have this? We have not communicated. This is on me. Do you have Ben Johnson ready to go? Wonderful. True professional I am. Kyle Wallace has not heard anything from Ben Johnson's press conference down in Chicago. So here was Ben Johnson at media press conferencing opening day.
3 teams that made the playoffs this year. I've got tremendous amount of respect for the coaches and the players in this league. Having competed against them for the last 6 years. Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, you're talking about 2 guys that are up for Coach of the Year awards as the season ends here. And to be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year.
Kyle, you laugh like he did.
Oh my gosh, here we go again. Are we doing this again?
There were crickets in that press room.
Because they've seen this broken record. They heard this stupid joke. It's over and over and over. This is the press conference to talk about.
Didn't Lovie Smith do this? I just want to beat the Packers.
They all talk about the Green Bay Packers. But why are we always on your mind when y'all are hiring a new coach? What is it when they go through the interview? Through the interview process, do they ask them, what's your scheme? What's your leadership style? How do you feel about beating the Green Bay Packers? Like, they make sure that is like a requirement. Why every time they have a press conference or a new player, Caleb Williams
he thought he nailed that, by the way.
He thought he was so smooth.
He had it all planned out. This man literally took time. He said, honey, let me try this on you here. I'm going to talk about, how good Dan Campbell is and how good Kevin O'Connell is. And then when I'm going to hit him with it, I love beating Matt LaFleur. And so that's what I just don't understand. This is why this franchise is where they're at. Instead of focusing on trying to become champions, they always want to talk about beating the Green Bay Packers. When Matt LaFleur came, I don't think he said anything about beating the Chicago Bears. He may say, I'm going to continue to beat these teams, but he ain't bragging about or chasing after the Chicago Bears. That is the Bears' problem. They more focused on beating the third-place team in the NFC North than actually trying to win a Super Bowl. He's going to be a failure. He's going to be a failure because
No. All of Chicago saying he won the opening press
I'm
conference.
sure.
Oh, my
I
gosh.
could have won the opening press conference. I could have dressed up as somebody else and said, "We're gonna beat those stupid Packers." We love you. They need to focus on something other than the Green Bay Packers, the third place team in the NFC North. They need to focus on trying to actually win a championship. They need to get rid of this old story, this old.
No.
Why
Why are we giving the keys to the?
They're gonna fail. He's gonna fail because when they lose to the Green Bay Packers, everybody's going to say, "Oh, no, he was supposed to be our savior." When they get swept by the Green Bay Packers next year, they're going to say, "We won 7 games, but we couldn't beat those Packers." They're going to be more focused on beating the Packers and making the playoffs. I'm telling y'all this right now. Just like with Caleb Williams, where they made a mistake by crowning him as the king. He gets drafted, and they crowned him as the king. They allowed for him to tell the punter, who was the punter we all liked, the dude from Iowa?
Tory Taylor.
Tory Taylor.
He ain't going to need to use that leg much. Man, listen. Tory Taylor punted so damn much for that football team this year. And so, like I said, we just need to have the Chicago Bears need to simmer down, calm down, and focus on winning 1 week at a time. Don't focus on, beating the Green Bay Packers. Focus on trying to win the NFC North. This team is a joke.
Yeah, I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of the players, right? Because I underwent a coaching change when I played for the Jaguars. So I'm trying to think if I was a Chicago Bear. And all of a sudden, I'm watching Ben Johnson's press conference. They're watching it in the same way we are, right? It's not like the coach gets accessibility to the players. The players are all over the country at this point. So the players are watching Ben Johnson as well. And if it were me, first of all, we heard the audio of it. Do yourself a favor, KBN Nation. Watch the video of it.
He's a dork.
He's a dork. He says the line, "I sure enjoy beating Matt LaFleur twice a year." He smiles and looks right to left, waiting for someone to laugh at him. It was a pathetic show of comedic timing. He thought he was going to be so funny, so tough, but he came off as he's having no swag, no ability to lead men. If I was a player, I'd be like, what the heck are we talking about? This is such a bad first impression. If
Better be an evil genius because, trying to be this tough, funny, he's trying to thread the needle on being everything.
Yeah, he is. And you got to be yourself. And if that's who he is, sort of dad jokes, bad timing, and puns, he's not going to connect with the players.
Isn't that what you are?
Yeah, and it takes one to know one. And I look at that, I'm like, you are just like this square punter right here. You are not going to be able to be a leader of men. Maybe I'm wrong, but it was a strange initial press conference. There's a lot to like about Ben Johnson with structure and scheme and all that kind of stuff. But if you're trying to captivate men, that's a really strange way to start doing it.
Strofe, I'd love to hear it again. And if you can see it on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison, Strofe has it for you to watch his eyes, right? As Brad says, he looks left, he looks right. He's kind of doing this weird smile. Does everyone think this is funny? Here's Ben Johnson trying to win his opening presser.
I know this is the toughest division of football right now. There's 3 teams that made the playoffs this year. I've got tremendous amount of respect for the coaches and the players in this league. Having competed against them for the last 6 years. Dan Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, you're talking about 2 guys that are up for Coach of the Year awards as the season ends here. And to be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year.
What do the kids say? Cringe? It's cringe. It is totally cringe when you got a guy up there that's talking like that.
All right, I want to see if this one resonates with any of you guys, but it feels like
I'm watching a delay of his response, and he's just laughing and smiling.
Yeah.
It was so painful.
It feels like, look, the valedictorian, when they give the speech, he's just a dorky nerd trying to connect with people right now. And it's just look, you're a dorky nerd that watches films and comes up with creative plays. You're not that guy.
Yeah,
it's like how we make fun of Goody and Mark Murphy with the media because they're just not. They're not those guys.
Yeah, see, Dan Campbell was able to.
He's been locked in a freaking room in Detroit watching film for 3 years, and now hey, go give a press conference. He's not made for this.
Because when you think of other really, really, really intelligent playmakers that have made it work, dude, they got some swag. Think of McVay. Think of Kevin O'Connell. Even Matt LaFleur. Matt LaFleur might not be tough in the traditional sense, but he's got a little bit of charisma. He's got a little bit of swag.
He does.
Mike McDaniel in Miami.
Oh, he got some swag.
These guys are offensive masterminds, but they're not uptight. They're not square. They got some swag. Ben Johnson, man, this is coming from a guy that has no swag.
You're tighter than Ben Johnson. He makes you look like you have more rhythm than, I don't know, Michael Jackson.
And that's saying something. So, I mean, look, he's going to have to really hire some meatheads and some, like, leaders of men on, like, offensive and defensive position coaches because he ain't going to do it. He ain't going to inspire guys to go out there and play the way the guys played for Dan Campbell.
Yeah, but you would think after being around Dan Campbell, he would have got some type of toughness that he would have learned.
Yeah, but you can't fake who you really are.
Dan Campbell's just being himself.
Yeah, and so Dan Campbell, the way he would have delivered that message, you definitely would have been like, okay, it's go time. But what he just did, you can just tell we're occupying real estate in his mind. Like, he understands that the task of being a Bears coach is winning, right? Is winning, not football games, is beating the Green Bay Packers. That is your Super Bowl. I bet you the Chicago Bears would be happy if they swept the Packers every year and never win a Super Bowl. And the Packers win a Super Bowl during that time, you know what they say? Well, we still beat the Packers twice this year. They don't care about that, man. I think they unfortunately know that they're not a winning organization and their goals aren't winning championships, is beating the Green Bay Packers. So congratulations, you beat the Packers with.
I don't know you guys, but I can listen to that clip over and over and over, and I can just feel the awkwardness. It's so good. It's so good. It's so Bears. It's so everything.
It is.
It's their opening presser. They're screaming to the high heavens, "We got our guy." And they did the same song and dance that everyone else does. He, like Kyle said, prepared a speech. Hey, honey, what do you think of this line? Oh, you're going to nail it. Didn't nail it.
No, and they never do, man. It's unfortunate for the Chicago Bears is that the Bears, just something about that organization just reeks of can't get it right.
Even his suit. His suit, he's wearing navy blue with the white shirt and orange tie.
It's like a bad comb over. There's just there's no charisma there. There's none. And you don't have to necessarily have it, but the job's going to get challenging. I just can't believe, because this will be the easiest moment that he'll ever have on the podium, right? Because it's going to be followed by questions, tough losses, things like that. So he had just a blank canvas to say anything he wanted to say, to really the first thing of setting the culture and the tone for his tenure for the Chicago Bears. And he makes this
he made it easy for us.
Joke.
We already know what sound clip we can play as soon as we open the show. The Monday after the Bears play the Packers on a Sunday in the NFL season, Strofe will come into Kyle Bruston-Ortman and he'll have I really love beating Matt LaFleur twice. And it's going to be part of a montage of highlights of Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers taking it to the Bears as they always have.
As the season ends here. And to be quite frank with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year.
To be quite
enough
frank
said.
with you, I mean, seriously.
You know it's bad when Brad's making fun of somebody. When dorky stiff Brad is calling somebody out, that's bad.
Well, to be quite frank with you, fellas.
He was so proud of that line.
He was. Well, in the way
each segment, each of us need to be quite frank with each other, okay?
Yeah. And if you want to call out the Packers, man, do it with some toughness.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, be like, I'm sick and tired of that green and gold. It disgusts me to look at them. I can't wait to bring it to them every single year and sweep them.
Oh, also, you're taking credit? You were the OC. You weren't the head coach.
Yeah.
You were part of it. You know, you weren't the guy. You're now the guy. And you're the guy that has set himself up for the ultimate. When they lose to the Packers, this guy said he wasn't going to lose to the Packers.
Yeah, and what I love about this day is that every about 3-4 years, we go through the tradition, right? Sometimes every 4 years you have a presidential election.
Tradition.
And every 4 years you have about 2 to 3-4 years you have a new head coach press
and 18
conference.
offensive coordinators.
Yeah, you always for the Chicago Bears. Matt Eberflus probably came in, said the same thing, and talked about what his football team was going to look like. But what was the result? Losses. And Ben Johnson, even though he has Caleb Williams as the quarterback, who we think Caleb Williams may be an okay quarterback, until this organization figures it out, like they clean house and probably sell the football team, they are going to go through the exact same cycle of level of excitement. Football season comes, they start losing, then they're saying, oh no, is Caleb Williams that good? Oh, Caleb Williams is the problem, draft a new quarterback, bring in a new quarterback, then all of a sudden he sucks, then they fire the coach, and then we're back here. I'm telling y'all, well, I'll see y'all in 2028.
All right. To move past, which I'll have to hear this audio again because it's so cringeworthy. I love it. I want to spin the block. Kyle, can you please explain what spin the block means?
Yeah, spin the block means, say you're dating somebody, right? You guys are in a relationship.
Well, let me say, I don't want to spin the block in my personal life. I'm happily engaged and have a...
Be more like Brad.
Typically, spin the block means you break up with somebody, and then all of a sudden you kind of see them on social media, and maybe they like one of your little posts. And then you say,
You're back home for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you say, you know what, let me go ahead and hit her
Sounds like
up.
you got some experience over
Go
here.
ahead and hit her up, see what she's doing. And when you hit her up and you go back to her, you're spinning the block. And most of the time when you spin the block, you realize you should have stayed home.
Well, I don't know if in this scenario I want to stay home. I think I want to spin the block and create a relationship with this person.
You going out the night before Thanksgiving?
Let me tell you who I want to spin the block with next.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
Let them know the dread-headed brother loves the Green Bay Packers. When you see me, Goody, let me in the box.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
Romeo. This 3-syllable, you have to take the O out of the equation. That's too easy.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Iota, right? Not one iota. Iota.
Yeah, that's only 4 letters.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
Let's pretend you're a first-time listener to Wilde and Tausch. What the hell is this? They're discussing syllables.
On 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Bring in the new year at your local Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis Auto Group dealerships. If it's the new year, it's time for a new ride. So plan on driving into 2025 in style at a Kunis Auto Group dealership near you. Your Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis dealerships feature America's best-selling brands from both Buick and GMC, all at nearby locations in Oak Creek and Greenfield. During January, every remaining new 2024 vehicle plus thousands of select pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs are all being discount price to sell. We've got to make immediate room for hundreds of incoming new 2025s, as well as hundreds of fresh trade-ins from the holiday season. We're paying top values on all trades, no matter what the mileage or condition. Don't forget to check out individual dealership websites for pre-owned vehicles super specials. Plus, January service specials on everything from oil changes, tires, and brakes. Ring in big New Year savings at your nearby Milwaukee Metro Region Kunis Auto Group dealerships, or shop online at shopkunis.com.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is hosting another Scramble tournament with $750 in cash prizes available. Hey ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellison, and Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center invites you to play in a 2-man scramble at Pebble Beach, all from their comfortable golf simulators. Grab a friend and sign up today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. The tournament costs $120 per pairing and is happening now through January 31st. Your winter chance to play Pebble Beach awaits. WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sport called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian, taste what all the screamin' is about.
Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. If you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now is the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no payment financing until 2026. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Tom has been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. And I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. I was really starting to worry.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Let's go crazy, crazy, crazy till we see the sun. I know we only met, but let's pretend it's love.
We have learned that Ben Johnson, the new head coach of the Chicago Bears, is a replica of personality as Brad Nortman.
Well, guys, we're just going to head out there and fight as hard as we can, and gosh darn it, we're going to do our best.
Brad,
bear down.
To be frank,
Brad, you're not a square, but he is. I'm watching Ben Johnson there now. You can just tell.
Dude,
I have more swag.
You
than
have
Ben
more
Johnson.
swag than this nerd.
Totally.
And you're a nerd.
I am a nerd.
And I have an issue with his
He's on NFL Network right now in one of our TVs, and I don't know, man. He's the director of wealth management at your favorite financial firm.
He's very stiff. He's head of accounting for a plain consumer packaging company.
Yeah, I don't like how his collar on his shirt, his collared white shirt, it doesn't really fit tight on him. It look a little bit loose. But hell, I don't know. He was a great offensive mind, so maybe he'll be able to translate. But
he's upper management at Dunder Mifflin.
There you go.
He's Wallace.
David Wallace.
Oh man.
Wow.
Just good news for all of Wisconsin right now. It really is. I'm not joking.
No,
it is. The only reason a dude that stiff can ascend to this position is if you're that smart, which is a little thing that caused me a little bit of,
he's intelligent now.
Where it's I think he's a good
evil genius.
Yeah, I think if there's anyone that can unlock Caleb Williams, it's him. That gives me a little bit of pause, but you got to do a whole lot more than that as a head coach than just be a good offensive mind.
That guy's going to come up to, is Montez Sweat still on their team?
He was this year.
Hey, Montez, how are you? You ready to go to work today? I don't know. Just feels off. It feels very off.
You got to be able to connect a little bit with your head coach, and he's going to have to earn that with those guys. For sure.
He's going to have to go out with a team.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach Johnson, let's go. Come on. Let's go out.
Cheeseburgers for everybody.
Hey, I got party hats. You guys want to come to the house? Hang out?
We talking a lot of mess right now, boys. I will say if the Bears come out.
Oh, so you scared?
No, I'm not scared, but I'm just saying we're talking a lot of mess. 3 years from now, I don't want us to
sound like the idiots.
A montage.
We're the montage, not him.
For real, though.
All right, I want to spin the block, and here's why. Listen to this. Devontae Adams with Kay Adams on the Up and Adams podcast, folks.
Man, he honestly,
this
I know
about Jaden
people
Daniels.
are going to act crazy for me saying this, but I don't even mean it in any way other than just what I'm saying. But he reminds me a lot of just the temperament, the calmness, just the smoothness out there. He's a lot like J Love as far as demeanor goes. And you never see him get worked up. He may put a ball out a little too far, or somebody may not come down with it, which doesn't happen too much. But if it does, you can just feel it's like a different type of veteran feel back there. I mean, the kid's just sitting in the pocket, dialing it up, waiting for stuff to develop, hitting open receivers, and then running the ball and running through people, doing a little bit of everything. It looks.
All right, folks, that's Devontae Adams turning Jaden Daniels into a comparison of what he thinks of Jordan Love. Unprompted.
You know, when I hear that, I can see myself at a party, like in high school or college, and I can see two exes in the corner over there, and they've reunited, and they're flirting, and they're laughing, and one of them comes back to the guys group, and we're chatting. And, Devontae Adams used words like, the temperament, the calmness, the smoothness. This is like the guy coming back and saying, you know what, guys? I forgot how funny she was. I forgot how pretty she looks when she wears a dress like that, and darn it, she laughs at my jokes. Man, she's pretty great after all, huh? These are two exes that are hitting it off. And the chemistry, again, it's so palpable. It's so filling the room that everybody in the party is just now witnessing and waiting for those two to leave the party together. That is what's happening with Davante Adams and the Green Bay Packers. How many times do we have to hear Davante Adams, whether it be on Up and Adams or even talking about, remember it was even this time last year, talking about the Packers, and he was even like, man, I didn't know Jay Love could do that. There's all this conversation about Davante Adams planting seeds along the way about wanting to spin the block. Now the Packers, they're the X of the two. They're tight-lipped.
They have the most control, I would say.
Well, you said spin the block. I'd like you to know how long you've known that term.
Oh, Kyle taught me that.
Kyle taught us that.
Yeah,
So that's at least 18 months, 15 months?
Oh, yeah. You probably even use it less than that. Probably a year ago, you use spin the block.
Yeah, no, I don't spin the block.
Do you feel comfortable using that phrase?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
Do
continue.
you feel comfortable having me say spin the block?
I'm incredibly uncomfortable.
Okay. Well, the Green Bay Packers and Davante Adams are destined to spin the block because we are all witnessing them at the party just flirting and laughing, and they're nudging each other, and Davante's touching the Packers. The Packers are laughing. This is classic. It won't
But we don't know if the Packers are laughing. But I'll tell you what.
Oh, the Packers are laughing.
I'm not Brian Gutekunst, but I got googly eyes.
Well, because
I've fallen deep into the Davante Adams love trap. I'll tell you that much.
Because
I'd love to see him back in green and gold.
I think the green and gold. I think the Packers are smiling because what's the term, Kyle? Batty. I think Green Bay.
Yeah.
They look at Tay.
Spin the block and Batty. You do have more personality than Ben Johnson.
Right. And they say, "Ooh, I forgot how much of a batty Tay was." We got to go ahead and take this conversation.
To go ahead.
We got to take this
Who
conversation.
are you?
Brad been on the block. He had to spin the block. He been on the block talking like that. That's what Brad done did. I agree. I don't think it's a reality because I'm not going to be a fool. In 2025, I decided when it comes to my Green Bay Packers, I'm going to let history dictate my opinion.
When did you decide this?
I decided, well, after the Packers lost.
Be reasonable, Kyle.
No, but no. I can't look foolish anymore, right? I need to mature. I need to grow up. I really felt stupid. I felt so stupid. You know, buying that ticket, I thought the Packers actually had a chance. I felt stupid after they lost to the Bears because I knew deep down, I said, dang it, I done gave more of my money.
The ticket was my Super Bowl future for the Green Bay Packers that I paid a price lower than what I bought because I was like, hey, it's $60 to win $900. You want the Super Bowl ticket? Kyle goes, yeah.
For $15. It was worthless, and I should have known it was worthless when Mr. Strofe decided he wasn't going to get in on the fun either. But when I think about this, do I want to spin the block on Davante Adams? Absolutely. Davante Adams showed something this year is that when he was back with Aaron Rodgers, even though that team sucked, he felt comfortable, right? He was back in his comfort zone, and he absolutely balled out. Do y'all realize when Davante Adams went there, he only played in 11 games with the Jets, and he had 67 catches for 850 yards and 7 touchdowns. That is production that would have been really, really helpful for this Green Bay Packer football team, and he did that just in 11 games. And then the leadership that he was able to display as well, mentoring young players on that football team. This is an opportunity for Goody to finally look at the scenario and situation and say, I know I like him young, but this is a guy in Davante Adams that is extremely talented.
Plug and play.
Yeah,
plug and play.
Not just plug and play, plug
Even
and
he
elevate.
said that.
Plug and elevate, right? And so this alleviates the issue you have for a number one wide receiver. This takes more pressure off of Jaden Reed. You tell Jaden Reed, hey, get mentored by the big bro Davante Adams, and then you just do your thing. You're going to be able to eat because they had to focus on Davante Adams. Hey, Romeo, hey, you're going to get your chances still. You're still going to get your chances because you had Davante Adams. So the Green Bay Packers need to strongly consider bringing back a Davante Adams, not just because of the production he can bring on the field, but also him being a mentor to some of the young players on this football team.
Ben Bruss, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Kyle Bruss and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Strophy's running the show. 800-990-3776. After all these little hints and tidbits that Davante Adams has been dropping, I am all in. I have googly eyes. These X's need to come back together, and they have a future together. And what I love that Kyle is saying about this veteran, now look, the biggest thing that we have no control over is the negotiation stage if it gets there, right? Now,
that's where you bring up all the old past arguments.
And then you see if you can move past them and you can have a relationship further. But why I love the idea is this is like Randall Cobb times 10, right? Randall Cobb was brought in at like age 34, 35 to basically be a pseudo wide receivers coach and pick up a third down every other game with Aaron Rodgers. So the idea that you can plug and play, elevate, mentor, you're getting it all from a guy that you pay to actually do something for your team and help you go further as a team.
He's worth the investment. And like that's the biggest fear that I have, is that the Green Bay Packers are going to approach him as if, he's Walmart when really he's Neiman and Marcus, and they want to pay him like that, right?
Nice guy.
Like there's a big gap between that, but the Green Bay Packers need to understand what they have. It's not too often that you have a lot of players that want to come to Green Bay. And so with a guy that actually wants to come here, who's been here, he understands the culture, he can hit the ground running. You need to take advantage of that. If you want to have a real sense of urgency and you want to show the guys around that we're not playing around no more, we're here to win, you should make this move. And on top of that, do you know what they did this year that really helped solidify this team, Brad? Who did they bring in to help solidify a big issue that they had in special teams?
A kicker.
They brought in Brandon McManus.
I was going to say they brought in Rich Bisaccia for $2 million a year.
Yeah, waste. But they brought in Brandon McManus, and we stopped talking about the kicking game. You bring in Devontae Adams, and we no longer have a conversation about who the number one wide receiver is.
Could it be that the special teams, the kicker, in fact, a specialist, would change the fortunes of the Green Bay Packers? That maybe warms up Goody to the idea of bringing in a veteran. Because
them Cougars ain't that bad looking.
They're not that bad. And they're not that expensive as you thought they might be.
They not.
Because even with Devontae Adams, there's no question he can be number one wide receiver. Just looking at what he did with Aaron Rodgers, who is a shell of himself, Aaron Rodgers, he could certainly handle number one coverage. He got
open
all the time. He dominated when he was with the Jets, and he missed a bunch of games, still top 15 in most categories. So he is certainly capable of being a wide receiver one. And if Goody wants to replicate, those golden years of Packer football under Ted Thompson, those receiver rooms had some young guys, they had some old guys, right?
Sure did.
It allowed this sort of
was
circle of life of guys that could learn from one another and share the burden. He's went away from that, but this could be closer to that Ted Thompson mid-2000s Super Bowl run.
Do y'all think that's been something that's holding this receiver group back? Is in Green Bay, and you brought up a great point there, Brad, is we saw that cycle, right? We saw a Donald Driver who was there, and then we saw Greg Jennings come. We saw Jordy Nelson come. We saw James Jones come. And then we saw a Devontae Adams come, right? Like you always had a veteran wide receiver who was able to show the young guns how to make it, right? Right now, we got our young guns.
Like legitimately show them how to make it. Like, here's what you do. Here's how you come to work. Here's how you get to know how to earn the trust with the quarterback.
And quite honestly, you need that as a young player.
And at the end of Rodgers' career, I think he just he just didn't want to train a young pup. Like, he just wanted to keep doing what he knew was comfortable.
But at your position, it could be so important. So, again, this is a great opportunity to help the receiving room get better. Even if Devontae's only here for 2 years, if you can find somebody that can mentor Jaden Reed, Romeo Doubs, or Christian Watson, who can be the number one 2 years from now, the Green Bay Packers organization keeps that window of success much more open. Because right now, you don't have a 1,000-yard receiver on your roster.
Have it in 2 years. Did they have before Jaden Reed's rookie year?
I don't believe so.
No.
Damn.
No.
It's crazy to think about.
That's bad. You know what's not bad? Well, becoming relevant is next. That's not bad. You know what's good? Brad telling you how to win.
Oh, that's right. You guys are always looking for opportunities to win. I'm always looking to tell you about ways to win. And if you're looking to enjoy those NFL playoffs a little bit more, basketball, college basketball, whatever it is, then you got to enjoy it with the Sleeper app. That's right. With Sleeper Picks, you can download the Sleeper app today, and all you have to do is pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. If you are right, you can win up to 100 times your cash. This last weekend, man, I was playing it left and right. National championship game, NFL playoffs. I can't wait to do it again on Sunday with the big games coming up. Not only do I love watching NFL football, but doing it with the Sleeper Picks, man, you can win a little bit of money on the side, and entertainment factor is through the roof. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just play $5. That's it. One $5 play, and you're going to receive $55 in free entries. That's $5 11 times. That makes for so many enjoyable games to be able to enter in. Here's what you got to do. Download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D. That's my name. And you're going to get $55 in free entry when you play just $5. Sleeper app with code BRAD. It's an opportunity you do not want to miss. Sleeper app, code BRAD. Brad. Must be 18 years or older. Promo code location. Other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms and use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
New Bears head coach Ben Johnson is a stiff dork. We want to spin the block with Devontae Adams. We'll hear what Alex Strofe has to say next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
Dick Van Dyke, real quick on the cha-cha slide ACL, says she was carried out by all 5 of us. 5 people?
That's a big girl. Big girl. Yeah, that's a big girl who did cha-cha.
Stop it, Kyle.
What you mean? 5 of them had to carry. That's a big girl. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Homer here. I'm inviting you to join me starting August the 9th as we explore the many shades of Ireland with Colette Vacations, a 10-day journey filled with legendary views, historic expeditions, and unforgettable tales. Explore the historic city of Dublin, kiss the famous Blarney Stone, and stand on the spectacular cliffs of Moher. We'll also journey Ireland's breathtaking countryside and follow the stunning coastal route of the Ring of Kerry. We'll experience the daily life of an Irish family with a dairy farm visit and enjoy a taste or two at a historic whiskey distillery. We'll even stay overnight in a medieval castle. Join me for all of the experiences and so many more. All the details are online at ESPNMilwaukeeTravel.com. Don't worry about the planning. Colette handles all the details of this 10-day excursion. You can get full scoop of this once-in-a-lifetime trip on February the 2nd at 5 p.m. as I'll be hanging out with the Colette team at Maddie's Bar and Grill in New Berlin. That's February 2nd, 5 p.m. Maddie's in New Berlin. Don't miss out.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Guys, let's talk about something important. That's you. Hey, it's Brad Nortman. Taking care of your health and appearance isn't just about looking good. It's about feeling strong, confident, and ready to take on the world. At Quintessa Aesthetic Center, they make it easy. With experts in advanced skincare, body contouring, and anti-aging treatments, Quintessa's here to help you stay sharp and at your best. Trust me, when you look good, you feel even better. So why wait? Visit myquintessa.com and take the first step toward a more confident you.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Ashton Rotman with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Arrowhead's Natalie Cuso. The junior guard for Arrowhead's girls basketball team continues to see her star rise this season. After averaging 23.7 points per game as a sophomore, the junior Cuso has raised that to 26.5 points per game this season, including 35 points in the big win this month over Milwaukee. She also put up 34 points in a Warhawks win against one of the top-ranked teams in the entire country. According to ESPN, Cuso is a 5-star recruit and is already being recruited by heavy hitters in college in the Big Ten and ACC, among other conferences. Congratulations to this week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Natalie Cuso, and good luck the remainder of the season.
This is Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike on ESPN Radio. I'm reaching out with a message that's close to my heart. Devastating fires have ravaged the Los Angeles area, leaving families displaced, homes destroyed, and the community in need of help. Right now, you have the power to make a real difference. Your donation, big or small, can provide food, shelter, supplies, and much-needed support for those affected by the fires. If you are able to, please help those affected by the California wildfires and donate at www.lafoodbank.org/fire.
You're listening to Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Well, I could see you home with me, but you away.
3776 is the Carbless talking text line. Less is more. Ben Bruss alongside Kyle Wallace. Brad Nortman.
Sing it, Kyle.
I said, are you gonna
didn't hit it. But he kept on rolling. 800-990-ESPN.
So jam
Not really.
That's a good jam.
It's a good jam. It's not my jam. It's a good jam.
I was so telling you, head about me because you look so fine and you really want to make it right.
I love when he doesn't know the words, so he just goes,
I don't know lyrics to songs.
Look so fine, and I really want to make you mine.
So I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm very concerned with my children. Lord willing, I have kids, and they play music, and I hear a beat, and I'm like, all right, cool. And then if I actually listen to it, it may be like Ludacris Waterfalls, where it's just disgusting or bad. I'm like,
oh, turn it off.
What? I'll never forget my dad when I was that song. I want to from your head to your toe. And my dad wasn't listening, and he finally listened. He said, "Turn this off." I said, "What?"
It's a good beat.
It was a great beat.
Yeah, I had one of those moments driving as a middle school kid, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. You know, in 2000s, rap was like 50 Cent, The Game, G Unit, like all of those songs. Yin Yang Twins,
yeah.
Whisper songs.
That song. Ooh.
Wait till you see, you like all that.
Oh.
And I'd play that in my parents' car, and let's just say that was the moment that I no longer had music selection as a 6th grader on the way to basketball.
Yeah, they were like, "Hey, little mama, let's whisper."
Yep.
They said, hey, "Honey, what are they whispering?"
Yeah. I wish I could, the hard part is about this conversation is I wish I could say the lyrics, but you can't because they're all dumpable. Every line of every word in a 2000s hip hop is dumpable by our radio standards.
But what's crazy is, so not only is it objectively sometimes the lyrics where you hear them or say them and you're like, oh my gosh, that's bad. But as I'm learning, there's like hidden messages in all these. Like I'm in love with the Coco and bands make her dance. Like that sounds so elementary on the surface.
Also, the way that Brad just said, I'm in love with the Coco.
Yeah.
You sound so white.
The hot chocolate.
Yeah, the Coco. It's delicious.
We have a nice machine right out there.
Very rich.
Rob in Milwaukee, 800-990-3776. You're up on the Carbless Talking text line.
Thanks for having me, guys. Talk about Adams real quick. And maybe a little bit on yesterday's conversation. But you guys are missing the biggest point. Goody will never hire him because he's not his guy.
Oh, trust us, Rob. You're preaching to the choir. You're not wrong here. We're living in a little mini fantasy land, aren't we?
Yes, that's right. And a quick touch on yesterday's topic about Jordan Love. Give him a break. He had a really bad season, not totally trash. But you guys are all up on the Washington quarterback.
Hell yeah.
Jaden Daniels.
Up on he shot a perfect shot right in the basket right before half. Nobody can argue that. But Jordan Love was all that at the end of last year. And now you guys were kind of dumping yesterday on them. I just don't see it.
Thank you for the call, Rob, in Milwaukee. Look, as Mark Tauscher joined us on Kyle Bruss and Nortman yesterday at around 2:35, he said he doesn't want to be a palmer, a prisoner of the momenter. I don't know. What did he say? He doesn't want to be a palm.
Yeah, he wasn't a palm, yeah.
Mark Tauscher, the Packer Hall of Famer, and all of us all were in agreement that it would be stupid to say that Jaden Daniels didn't have a better year than Jordan Love. Now, if you want to say that I feel like this season for Jaden Daniels could ultimately be what happened to Jordan Love in the sophomore slump, sure, it could happen. But the holistic body of work as a rookie, he had a better year than C.J. Stroud. He made it farther than both C.J. Stroud and Jordan Love, who were the darlings of all. I remember super wild card weekend. We're seeing the AFC quarterback, the NFC quarterback, the young guns, the first-year starter, the rookie quarterback, and where do they go? No one's gone as far as Jaden Daniels had.
That's true.
And he is consistently doing it in a way that is impressive with his poise, his calmness. And Devontae Adams, who we played just a little bit ago, said it reminds him of Jordan Love, which is great. maybe Devontae's trying to get in his good graces of Green Bay Packers fans and ownership. Goody, essentially.
Yeah, but one thing about Jaden Daniels, I think you got to remember, Jaden Daniels went on the road, right? He went on a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team that has Super Bowl winners on that roster, and then he went to Detroit, the best team in the NFC, who has a quarterback that had a great year, the offensive coordinator everybody loves, and they won that football game as well. So there's a lot of credit there, but I don't want people to think that I still don't love me some Jordan Love. I still have high hopes for him, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. You got to call a duck, and the fact is that the duck out in Washington played better than my duck right here in Green Bay.
Well, yeah. I mean, we are certainly Jordan Love backers. I wouldn't change Jordan Love from any quarterbacks out there, but the reality is you can't ignore what Jaden Daniels is doing. Darius Slay, the very good cornerback for the Eagles, he said yesterday, quote, to see what he's doing as a rookie, I will say he is the greatest rookie quarterback ever. Talking about Jaden Daniels. And that's the competitor of who you're about to play. The guy who's watching all the film on Jaden Daniels all week. So to call him the greatest rookie quarterback of all time, it's just saying something. You can't ignore that. So Jordan Love has a bright future. As Matt LaFleur said, he's ascending. But man, oh man, Jaden Daniels, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the NFC for 10 plus years.
All right, apparently Alex Strofe has uncovered something that's going to make you guys giggle on the other side. First, you're going to tell us how to get well, but let's just say we've discovered that songs have deeper meanings and some lyrics can mean things that are...
Not the song I was just singing, no.
No. Just take a deep breath. Brad's going to tell us about Quintessa, and then Strofe's going to bring us back with a banger on the other side.
Ooh, I love more song education. Thanks, Strofe. But first, before that, I got to tell you about a banger of my own, and that is Quintessa Aesthetic Center. At Quintessa, man, this is every single area of your personal health. You get to take charge with it. I go to the Quintessa in Brookfield. I work with Jess. They're unbelievable. They're going to meet you right where you're at in your own personal wellness journey to help you reach an optimal level of self, not just some substandard, oh, I just want to be okay. No, you have one body and you get one lifetime to treat it well, so you might as well use Quintessa to help you optimize it. You're going to feel energized, confident, ready to take on everything that 2025 has to offer with all the things that Quintessa can help you with to achieve total wellness. And now, between now and March 31st, Quintessa is offering special New Year's packages to help kickstart your year the right way. They're going to meet you with a personalized wellness plan. It could be anything. It could be Botox. It could be skin treatment. It could be hair hormone therapy, IV therapy, gain muscle, lose weight, feel more energized. There's so many things that Quintessa can help you with, and they're going to meet you right where you're at in your personal journey. And they're going to make it designed for you to feel and look your absolute best. I mean, you got to invest in yourself. If you're going to invest in anything, you need to think about yourself and your body first. And Quintessa, boy, they make it simple, easy, effective. They've helped me along the way. I'm loaded up on a bunch of supplements. They are so experts in their field that they're going to make 2025 your best year of feeling confident, revitalized, and a step toward the best version of you. Visit myquintessa.com and take control of your health today.
Strofe plays us in next segment with a banger. Next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
Women ask you, do you love me? Why do you love me?
Wait, why am I always the one doing that? Tell me why you love me, baby. I need you to make me feel better.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Even when you think you know what's going on.
Craig, you don't pay us to be cheerleaders. There's plenty of other shows that do that, okay? You know what you pay us to do? Be right.
You can never be too sure.
Chewy, buddy,
hold back. I was with you, and then you went a little too far.
Drop that.
Packers, nonsense, chaos.
I pay you all to entertain, which you do all the time, and you do a fantastic job.
Did you? Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
For personalized furniture the way you want it in just 35 days, shop the President's Day sale of Norwalk Custom Furniture at any Ken Michaels Furniture stores, showrooms in Greenfield and Brookfield. Stop in today and save.
With your Saganiac Planning Marquette recap, I'm Chris Larson. Number 10 Marquette used a huge defensive effort to earn a 76-59 win at Seton Hall. MU led by as many as 27, scored 23 points off 24 Pirates turnovers while notching 18 steals as a team, 5 of those coming from junior guard Chase Ross.
Pass stolen away. Oh, yes, the rocket launches. Chase Ross, showtime from midcourt.
The Golden Eagles up their record of 16-3 overall and into a first-place tie atop the Big East at 7-1. They return to action Friday night against Villanova at Fiserv Forum.
For more than 40 years, Network Health has been the trusted experts in health plans. Just like you, they're honest, hardworking, and grateful to call Wisconsin home. Whether you're seeking coverage for yourself, your family, or your employees, Network Health has you covered with a range of options, including individual and family marketplace plans, employer plans, and Medicare Advantage plans. Call Steve Llewellyn, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service.
It's the perfect Valentine's heart.
The kind a schoolboy would draw. It's the most adorable pendant we've ever created.
Innocent, fun-loving, and sweeter than honey.
Cute, cute, cute.
It's cherry red ceramic that's been through the fire.
We've been making ceramic jewelry for thousands of years.
Seriously?
Google it. But this ceramic heart has things they didn't know about thousands of years ago.
Like what?
Diamonds. 18 of them. These created diamonds were made for the one who sparkles like the sun.
I can see her in my mind right now.
It's the perfect Valentine's gift.
And it's only $128 at Kessler's.
Monica, what else do we have? We have 4 different ways to say I love you.
Each pendant is a different shape covered in diamonds.
Life is like a box of chocolates. An oval. A square with rounded corners. A teardrop. And a heart.
Your choice, just $148 at Kessler's. For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I said, you know I like to eat 11 days a week. Wings and pizza, stuff that crust with extra cheese. Yeah, we feasting on some wings and pizza. I'm so hungry, I can't stop. Bring that wings and pizza.
You know what version this is, Kyle?
Kids Bop?
Kids Bop.
Wait, this sounds like an adult singing Kids Bop. Ain't supposed to be a kid, it's an old ass kid.
So for context, what song is this?
Are you kidding me? Are you for real?
I actually don't know.
No, is this a song that I think it is?
Wait a minute, y'all don't know.
They did a Kids Bop to this song?
It's just Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion. I'm not certain I could say the name.
Well, I don't
of the
think
song.
You can say WAP. WAP? That's not
you probably can.
Yeah, you can say
either way.
A WAP.
I've heard of
I think it's
this
WAP,
song.
yeah.
Don't research what it means.
That is...
They're adults. They can do what they want.
Why would they make... There's a universe of songs out there that you can make for Kids Bop. Why would they choose this one to change the lyrics?
They still do Kids Bop?
Yo,
Oh, yeah. I mean, so I was researching Kids Bop songs. And the
I'm
song,
glad you were really focused on our conversation in the last thing.
I Love It by Akana Pop, which is the one that goes, I crashed my car into the bridge. They didn't change a single word in the Kids Bop version. So there are kids
I crashed my
about
car into the bridge.
crashing cars
Oh
into
my
the bridge.
gosh.
Yeah, that was fun.
What now are they on? Like, now that's what I call music. Do they still do that, you think? That was a pretty big deal. I remember when Now 1 came out, you know, like an amalgamation of all the great songs.
Now
What do you think
1.
they're on?
I think it was just Now.
It was just Now. And then it was Now 2.
Probably Now 400.
I got to think they're at least at 150.
Guess what I discovered?
I think they're at 118.
Now 118?
So you're telling me-
106.
You're telling me someone's buying Now 112.
There's kids every year coming up, Brad.
Yeah,
The
but
life cycle keeps coming.
119 was released. on
The hard
November
part,
15th.
guys, is what I realized is my fiance's vehicle has a CD player.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, it is.
So in the basement, I have like just like a rack of like CDs, and some of them are burned CDs from when I was in high school and middle school. You got the girls that write like "For Ben, ha ha ha, this is for you." Should I?
Cool.
Nice, Brad. Sorry that you're dorky Brookfield.
Guys want to burn me a CD? Hey, girls want to burn me a CD?
Girls like when you burn them CDs.
I know.
There's still some burnt CDs inside the 6-chain CD player in the Wallace household.
I prided myself on a great burned CD. You know, you've got those 15 songs.
Did you write all the songs on the label?
Yeah. Or you write like the vibe. You know, it's just like Summer Jams 05.
You would say Summer Jams.
With like a palm tree and a sun and sunglasses.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he really is a dork.
Yeah.
You're drawing pictures on your burned CDs. I'm just trying to write 1. Here's the name. 2. Here's the name. And I couldn't even read my handwriting.
Version 3.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
those are the great days. There was something special about burning a girl a CD, wasn't it?
So here's my question.
Yeah.
What do you think the best generation to be born into is?
Probably 70s. I think the 70s babies, because they've seen so much change. Like I know before that, the 40s and 50s, 60s, a little rough time. 60s, But 70s, you're born in the 70s, you still have the olden time, right? But you see the world truly change. You are coming of age as the internet is coming up, right? And technology is getting better. TV. So, yeah, I would say 70s.
Because for me, go ahead.
So I've got 2 that I think are great, and we're one of them. I think to be born late 80s, early 90s. A 90s baby's unbelievable before technology.
Yeah, we're last
but all the good things. Yeah, when
playing outside and riding your bike and I don't know, when the street lights go out, that's when you come home.
Coming in the house smelling like onions.
The other version, I think, would be like...
You didn't put deodorant on.
Yeah. The other version would be, I think, depending on how old your parents are. My parents are born in 1960. So to be in the 60s, 70s, to be able to go to college in the late 70s, early 80s, I think that'd be a good time to do that, where they had freedom. And I wouldn't want to be born and be a kid in the 80s. I don't know. If your kids were World War II veterans, that's super cool. Or your parents were World War II veterans. I don't know. So I think born in the 60s or born in the late 80s, early 90s. I think that's the time to do it.
So part of me, now,
music,
tell us if we're biased, 800-990-3776. Because I think I would have been happier with 5 years if I was 5 years older right now. If I could rewind 5 years and have 5 more years of less technology, because now it's all.
I agree with that.
Now it's just all technology. If I had to have 5 more years of I don't know, I miss having to figure stuff out. MapQuest. Now you just go to your phone, plug it in. If you told me to get to a destination,
you do realize you just said MapQuest and not the Atlas map.
MapQuest
is still a cheat
family
code.
trips were. If you took a road trip with your family,
oh boy,
and you got lost.
You pull out that 3 foot by 3 foot map and
Loved
trying to fit in the car window.
Don't know how they did it. I would have been lost all the time.
Absolutely.
If you told me to drive, I don't know, to Oconomowoc, I'd know how to get there. But if it was anywhere inside Oconomowoc, I don't know. I could
get to Brad's house
I could get to the exit.
One wrong turn and the whole deal's off.
That's true.
One wrong turn, that's it. There's no redirect. Think about that.
I remember when
it'd be tough.
I was out when I recruited. I was out in Richland Center, far away, 3.5 hours, something like that away. And coming back home, I didn't have any internet service, so I literally had to use a map. And I was praying. I said, "Boy, I hope this map works, because I hope I get somewhere. I want to get lost out this way."
Strofe, are you happy being a 26-year-old the time you were born? Do you wish you were experienced a little bit more before your time?
Huh?
What do you mean, huh?
Are you not listening to what we're
No,
talking
are you still listening to Kids Bop back there?
You listen to Wings and Pizza and Rolls and Cinnamon Buns?
Cinnamon Buns.
No. I guess I'm just confused by the question. Can you rephrase?
The best era to be born in.
Yeah. 60s,
Do you wish you weren't born?
We were born in the 80s and 90s.
I like my life.
You missed out on a lot.
You missed out on a lot. All you know is your phone.
Dominated by technology.
Yeah, but we understand the world without technology.
I had
it was
a flip
a beautiful
phone.
world.
You had a flip phone. See, we grew up without
When did you
phones.
get your first phone?
I was in 5th grade.
Yes.
That's too young.
Yeah, when I was in the 5th grade.
That's not young now, Brad. That's old now.
Yeah, 3rd graders get a phone now just so they can track
right.
locations and stuff.
I was friends with this girl in high school whose parents did not let her get a phone until she was 16.
Good for them.
Crazy.
That seems
Good for them.
reasonable.
That's when I got my first phone.
She's almost a doctor now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She turned out really well.
How before cell phones? So I said if you were born in 1960, If you were meeting up with your friends in 1980, how the hell would you meet one another?
Just go to the meet
Because you wouldn't be like, hey, I'm here
Brett,
at the thing.
Did you ever have to
Mouth
dial?
was much more powerful.
Wait a minute. Y'all do realize that telephones, right, were a thing. So you can call your
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
Stroke,
like
did you
house
ever
phone.
have to call a house phone to say like,
Like-
hey, is this person here? Can I
Yeah,
talk to
Mrs.
them?
Smith.
Yeah,
Is Jimmy there?
4695897. I had a landline.
Oh,
All right, that's good.
It's an active landline. That's why I gave out the number.
It's an action.
I don't know if mine is active or not.
What was my phone number?
Landlines are wild.
The worst part about picking up the phone as the youngest child was, hello? Hey, Courtney. No, it's Ben. Let me go get her. I didn't go through puberty yet, so I always thought I was a sister.
Sounds like a girl. It's okay.
Think about answering the phone and you don't know who's on the other side. Think about that. Like, I mean, now we have caller ID, but you can open the phone. It could be anybody. Wild times. You got to be braver back then.
Is this the Nortman household? This is the debt collectors?
Hang up.
Dad?
Wrong number.
Dad?
Debt collectors. Hang up the phone.
That would never happen in the Nortman household.
Never. Very prompt, very conservative financial decisions.
Good for
You sound like Goody.
Very sound. Yes. Yes. There's a system there.
Little character when you got to
Yeah.
struggle a little bit.
That's right.
All right. So maybe we live in I don't know. I actually want people to tell us if we're in fantasy land in our next segment. In 2 minutes, I want to know if we're in fantasy land. Ted on the road, 800-990-3776. Hit us, Ted, on the Carbless Talking text line.
All right, so what you guys are describing is exactly the best generation to be born in. It's when you have that young childhood, able to play outside, make snow forts, right? But then, you get to high school, and that's just about when you're getting on the internet. You're getting cell phones, you're getting digital technology taking over your life, right? And it's right in between Gen X and Millennial, and the micro generation called Zennial. It's Xennial, the Zennial generation. It's born, I think, between like 77 and 83, and that is the sweet spot. And I'm a little biased because I'm right in the middle, born in 81. So,
See, there it is. He's biased. We're biased. But, like, again, he saw it all. In our minds, we saw it all. We saw LimeWire, Napster, MySpace, AIM, AOL, calling people on a home phone, to having a flip phone, to having an iPhone, to now iPhone 16, to the internet, to Wi-Fi on planes. Like
Social
we've lived
media?
it.
Yeah, that's a journey. Even just saying that is an absolute journey.
It was a great one, boy. Napster, LimeWire, like you said, boy. I love downloading them illegal music songs.
It was a rush. We all knew it was illegal.
Yeah, we sure did.
Downloading the music. Hopefully you didn't get a virus to the computer that would ruin the home computer, the desktop computer.
Oh, man. What
Good
a world.
times. It is. Strofe would never understand.
Jonathan Brust, 800-990-3776. Congrats on your nerdy head coach, Ben Johnson.
Dude, my nerdy head coach, or actually a real head coach that cares about the people that are around him?
How do you figure?
I mean, did you not see everything that happened yesterday? The guy walks in, he cracks a joke, saying, get back to work, and then goes off and tells them what he's going to do. Oh, yeah, of course, Ben, you're probably going to hang off like you usually do.
Hey,
He's cringe.
JB,
He's
what makes him better than the last time? Because you get so excited. Last year you called in talking about we're going to get Caleb Williams. And before that, you were talking about Justin Fields. And then before that, you were talking about Matt Eberflus as well. What makes you think that all these coaches are going to be your savior and not really a good?
All right, Kyle, I will tell you. Here we go. The Bears have 3 picks in the top 75. They're going straight offensive line.
Receiver.
No. We're not going receiver. We're going offensive line.
Last year.
Khalil Mack is. No, we did not.
You did go receiver in the first.
We went Caleb Williams and we went Rome.
Okay, 2 offensive weapons and not an offensive line. I saw the way Caleb was running around back there.
Well, now I'm saying we want offensive line.
Well, again, Jonathan,
Did
you're
I
not the general manager, and I do want to get to our other callers. Thank you for your belief in showing us exactly why all of Chicago. Jonathan is an encapsulation of all of Chicago.
Perfectly
blind. Like he cracked the joke. He said, "Get back to work." Ha ha ha! This guy's going to lead us to the promised land.
That's all it takes. One little joke.
Faith.
And we heard the joke today about the Green Bay Packers, and it was horrible. It's the same song and dance we've seen for the last, as Kyle said, what? Every 4 years?
Every 4 years, here comes another.
All right. In 2 minutes, we're going to get back to generations and phone lines and all of the ways that we lived life before these Gen Zers ruined our lives. And then we will get to what Brad Nortman proposes as the way the Packers should do business in the offseason. But I think it's Fantasyland, but I like living in Fantasyland. Get to your calls on the Carbless Talk and Text line in 2 short minutes. Don't go anywhere.
It's time for another edition of Wellness Wednesdays here on 94.5 ESPN. Kyle Bruston Nortman's Brad Nortman sits down with Wellness Director Jessica Barr to talk about Quintessa.
Hey, it's Brad Nortman here with another edition of Wellness Wednesdays. I'm here with Jess from Quintessa Aesthetic Center in Brookfield, as always. And today we're talking about being able to control blood sugar and support your nutrition. Now, I'm probably like so many people out there that feels like I'm sort of at the whim as far as what I eat at any given time is what my appetite or hunger cravings are. So how can you help me and so many other people out there manage those hunger cravings and be able to stay balanced so that you can avoid energy crashes and be able to make better nutrition decisions?
So the best tip I can give you is just make sure you're getting in protein. That's the biggest thing. Whenever you eat carbohydrate by itself, it's going to spike your blood sugar. And then you don't feel when it spikes, you feel when it crashes. And that's when you get hangry and you want to eat everything in sight. So no matter if it's an apple or a banana, that still is healthy, right? But we want to make sure we're getting protein and fat with that to really stop that blood sugar spike.
What are some of the protein sources that you find to be most effective to be able to do that for both men and women?
Yeah, any protein source is good, but protein examples are eggs, meat, if you can do dairy, cottage cheese, Greek yogurt, beans, lentils.
There's so many options out there for you to get that much needed protein into your system and prevent that blood sugar from spiking. With those carbs, it might taste good for a second, but you're not going to like the effect of it in the long run. So utilize Quintessa and Jess to figure out how you can manage your blood sugar, support your nutrition, and get back on track with living the life that you want to live.
Learn about all the services offered by Quintessa Aesthetic Center at myquintessa.com.
Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith here. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
What is the best time to be born in these... Whoa, hit the record scratch for me. When is the best era to be born in? Best years to be born in? Because right now, this sweet spot of 72 to 82 from our guy, or 78 to 82, the Zillennials, or the mix between Gen X and Millennials.
Zennials.
Never
With an
heard
X.
that before.
Larry in Iowa, 800-990-3776. We miss calling people on the phone.
Iowa boy.
What do you got, Larry?
Hey, guys. I just wanted to tell you, when I was like in the 7th grade, I used to talk to my older brother's girlfriends for like a half hour before they realized it. It was hilarious.
Oh man. Did you, I mean, this was before having like cell phones. You didn't do anything inappropriate now, did you?
No, I was born in 58. This was back in the 60s. So, yeah, it was funny, though. But I wanted to also mention that I really think if they brought Devontae back, it would help. And since Goody sort of stiffed them the first time, wouldn't be bad to reach out and take care of them now.
Hey, they can be rekindled. We are team rekindle Devontae and Goody.
Growth is real, man.
Speaking of rekindling, Larry, you know what your brother's ex-girlfriends are up to?
Well, actually, I took one of them to the prom years later. But,
You slide devil, you. Kissed her, didn't you?
Yeah, they passed this girl around.
Stevie, damn, Kyle.
I'm just saying. I go from one brother to another.
Stevie, what do you got on the Carbless Talking text line?
Okay. Great story. I don't. You guys were just mentioning how you never knew who was on the other end of the line, right? Okay, so I was born in '83. Here's a Nortman reference. I outkicked my coverage. This girl that I'm up at Oshkosh for school. I'm crazy about this girl back in Tosa. She's a senior in high school. I'm up at Oshkosh. And my best friend was on the basketball team at Lawrence. I'll foreshadow that a little bit. And Benny, Johnny Decker was on this team. So the day after, whatever, I'm out partying, whatever, I get a call from my girlfriend in Tosa. I'm up in Oshkosh. She says, "What is going on? Is everything okay?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "My mom told me that you called last night 10 times in between 2 and 4 a.m. begging for her to wake me up." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" It turned out that my best friend, who was on the basketball team at Lawrence, got his buddies to call. He had the home number for my girlfriend, called and pretended to be me, and was waking up my girlfriend's parents over and over with phone calls saying, "I love her so much. Please wake her up."
Oh, wow.
Big time prank. Big time prank. And, of course, now it's hilarious, but at the time...
You married to her?
I was crazy about her. I am not.
Yeah,
I am not, but still a good friend.
I know why.
I'm smarter than...
Still good friends.
Yeah, I'm smarter than that.
That's good, Stevie.
That is one thing. Prank calls, much more fertile ground for that, right? I mean, you can't prank call anyone anymore.
Nah, you can't. You can just block it. You know, I got a Google
Prank
Assistant. You can prank call my Google Assistant if you want to.
This is the phone of Kyle Wallace. We will not be accepting this prank call.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All right, I want to hear from an old. John in Milwaukee, you're an old representing the 70s. Why was the 70s the best time to be born?
All right, yeah, I am an old. Okay, you got a good point there. So I was saying, like, I got to see from a sports perspective so many things. I've appreciated the arc in their entirety. I mean, I saw all the Magic and Bird's careers, saw Jordan's entire career, the miracle on ice, the birth of the West Coast offense and the 49ers dynasty. I was the last generation of kids who were probably free range, whose parents just kicked them out of the house in the morning and said, just be back by nightfall. And we were everywhere, and our parents had no idea where we were. And you're not going to see that kind of stuff anymore.
No, you're not, John. It's unfortunate. That's why we're reminiscing with everyone except Alex Strofe, who doesn't know the things that we all had to go through in our rough childhoods.
You're like 7 years old.
It's a big
gap.
Yeah.
It really is a big gap now.
Cell phone.
It happened fast.
Cell phone in 5th grade. I went to the burbs for school. None of the burbs kid had a cell phone in the 5th grade. Only one kid had one in the middle school. That was it. And we used his phone. Now everybody got them. Now you had them. So
Tom in Lake Oconomowoc, cool on the lake part. Tom, you're up on cool. Kyle Bruston Nortman on the Carbless Talking text line.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing good, man.
Good. Have you ever heard of a party line?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, growing up, we had a phone line that our neighbors also was tapped onto the same line. So if they were talking and we picked up the phone, we could hear their conversations and vice versa, which is kind of strange.
Wild. Did you ever listen in?
They weren't really all that interesting, so no, not really.
Did you hear what Suzanne was doing?
That's such a great name for the era.
Yeah.
Suzanne.
Tommy was living next to a bunch of squares.
It's a wild idea to think that you'd share a line. Think about that. It's very personal on the line. I don't know.
Lasagna in MKE, 77 to 88. Phone books. Holiday stores were closed, pre-internet, riding your bike around to find the pile of bikes, and good movies in the theaters. Now,
here's the thing. You didn't read that before you started reading it out.
Well, I will say good movies in theaters, I agree. Going to the movie theaters in the 2000s versus now.
Holiday stores were closed.
Did I read it wrong?
No, that's what it says. I don't know why you read it out loud, though.
You don't need to bring attention to the thing that I shouldn't have read. It's not saying anything wrong. It just didn't make sense.
You do that all the time.
Yeah, I'm Ron Burgundy. We know that.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, as long as it's not.
Ron Burgundy got fired.
No, there's a dump button for that. So that's what protects us.
We can't have you getting fired now.
Beads in Milwaukee. Best year to be born.
I'm kind of with the group here on the 82 is when I was born. I mean, you had to figure out what to do. Internet comes out, I want to say 6th grade. cell phones weren't a thing until college. Nokia 5150, the brick, rest in peace.
Did you play the snake game?
Packers Super Bowl. Got to see that in junior high in the bars. You guys probably don't even know what SNCC is. Saturday cartoons, MTV when it was a thing with TRL.
MTV, the real MTV. Now they just play ridiculousness over and over and over again.
Oh my gosh, I can't stand
Rob
it.
Dyrdek's got to be rich.
Has to. The royalties on that show running all day, every day.
I don't even watch that channel anymore.
You guys remember Robin Big?
Of course.
Great show.
R.I.P.
And then it was,
Big,
and then
right?
it was Fantasy Factory, and then it was ridiculousness.
Yeah.
I was a big Rob Dyrdek fan. Can you tell?
Yeah, I can tell.
Definitely tell.
You got some Rob Dyrdek vibes.
Hey man, that Fantasy Factory is like my lifelong dream. If
Dave
you could
from
just have
Aaron-
a big former factory that with like skateboard ramps and basketball hoops and little automobiles.
We do our best to make that like our jungle gym and play area upstairs, but it's not the same. We wrestle, we do things that we can, but we don't have like basketball hoops.
Do you wrestle?
Who do you
Who are you
wrestle?
wrestling?
I wrestle one of our teammates randomly, like by the
Who?
printer.
Why?
Because I don't know, we're just dudes being dudes.
Yeah.
Was it welcomed?
Oh, he loves it.
I doubt that.
I don't like.
Want to bet? Ask him. Like he loves it, and he's like fired up to go make
Who
some
is it?
phone calls
Who
and
is
make
it?
some sales.
Who is it?
Nate Dodge,
Oh gosh.
Go
okay.
Pointers.
That's funny.
Stevens Point legend.
Guys are weird.
Yeah, we are. We're simple,
Just
simple
wrestling
creatures.
a little bit.
We just want to roughhouse a little bit, you know?
On the clock.
Roughhouse.
We need to be better. Be better. You don't get paid. to
Horsing
roughhouse.
around.
Oh, I miss horsing around.
Yeah,
you can't
it's
horse
horsing
around anymore.
You can't. It's too PC.
You're a weird fella.
Yeah, very, very. And Brad's just you're gassing it up. You're
Well,
engaging
Brad's
in
a
it.
locker room guy, so it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Oh, so you like to
Yeah.
play grab behind with the towel?
I love some grab ass.
There it is. Yeah, no, I guess me and Stroke we weren't built for that. Or do you like to play that too?
It's not my favorite, but I will say, I will say, our buddy Dr. Ken Harris from 101.7 The Truth,
Your best friend.
Yeah, we like the jaw jack a little bit. He threw his arm around my neck this morning and goes, "One day you got to get your ass beat." I was like,
You know what?
That's fair.
Dr. Ken, there's never been more of a truth told in this earth.
Honestly, that's fair.
You let a senior citizen do that to you?
So, Dr. Ken is a former police officer.
Yeah, lieutenant.
Call him a detective. You'll get your ass beat by
that's
him.
true.
It's
That's
so
very
fun.
true.
Call
I
him
like
detective
that.
and run. Be
I'll
fun.
try it.
Yeah, he'll be giving
Commercial
you that ass beating.
Brad.
Brad's joshing around right now. He's horsing around.
He's getting hyped up, getting himself ready for what's up next.
You know, loves to joke. Gina Della from Pella.
Oh, she does. She does love the joke. She jokes she's amazing.
La la la.
But she doesn't joke about her Pella windows and doors of Wisconsin. Those are no joke. And you're especially reminded how much you need great windows and great doors when you're dealing with sub-zero temperatures. You got rain and sleet and snow out there. It's a reminder. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is your go-to for fortifying your home, increasing your home's value, decreasing your energy costs, and just transforming your home from the inside out, literally. And now is the time to take advantage of it. 0% interest at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin for 3 years. That's all the way into 2028. 2028! You pay no interest for 3 years for those beautiful windows, those timeless doors. They can match any style, craftsmanship, color, whatever you need, they got you. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. This deal ends January 31st, so act now at PellaWI.com.
Brad Nortman, Super Bowl 50 runner-up. It's time for Hear Brad Out. I don't know if there's been a good one in like 8 years.
Great one.
Always great. He says they're always going to be great. Hear Brad Out. Next.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN,
Kayla Williams sucks.
on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
We do have a few accidents to deal with starting off. We've got southbound 43 in Ozaukee County, just past Highway 32. The right lane is blocked with a crash there. In Jefferson County, we've got westbound 94 with the left shoulder blocked just past the Highway F ramp there. Then we've also got another issue, an accident eastbound 94 blocking the Moreland Road on-ramp. Emergency crews are on the scene with that. Eastbound 94 also has an accident off on the right shoulder at about Sunny Slope Road. Couple cars off on the right shoulder there. And then another one on 4394 northbound at Holt Avenue with the left shoulder blocked. Watch out for those delays and the slippery spots. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Snow early, clearing late, a low of 13. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a high of 20. Weather's brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
What happens when you mix a 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year with a Packers Hall of Famer?
I'm not going to get into the Kringle turnover game, so that's what it needs to be. I think his legs. Yeah.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Like the pastry Are you guys being turnovers. serious? You guys can't put two.
I got it. I did not get it.
They don't call themselves Racine Danish turnovers.
Sorry. Sometimes I wonder about you two, man.
Catch him from 9 to noon right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Walsh for Universal Windows Direct. Right now, buy 2 windows and get 2 free. There is no limit and no payments for 3 whole years. Restrictions apply. If you already have a price quote, they'll beat it. Schedule your free in-home estimate today.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Winning in the NFL comes down to the basics, blocking and tackling. In retirement, protection and income are the keys to success. Simply put, if you're nearing or in retirement, you can't afford a stock market crash. Hi, I'm Mitch Lyons. Having played on winning teams with the Steelers and Falcons, studying game film was a key to success. Now I'm a best-selling author and star in a new groundbreaking documentary film called The Retirement Deception. It unveils how the Wall Street machine has been deceiving us for decades and proves you don't need to risk your nest egg in the market to have the retirement you deserve. This film shows you exactly how to protect your retirement from stock market drops and produce more income than you thought possible. I want you to watch this film for free. Call today for your free copy of The Retirement Deception. I think you would agree 30 to 40 years of saving for retirement is at least worth a phone call to watch this film and see how you can improve your retirement. Call today to speak with an all-pro retirement specialist to get your free copy of The Retirement Deception. Call 855-620-1801. That's 855-620-1801. MitchLyonsWealth.com. Your best game plan to protect, grow, and win retirement.
Do you want to have more fun watching the NFL playoffs? Try playing Sleeper Picks. Just download the Sleeper app today and pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. You can win up to 100 times your cash. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just play $5 and they'll receive $55 in free entries. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D. Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
True Chicago-style pizza is thin, crispy, and cut into squares. And thanks to Connie's Frozen Pizza, you can enjoy a true slice of the city. You'll enjoy it so much you won't even mind where it comes from. Connie's Frozen Pizzas are made from the same cornmeal crust Connie's has been serving for over 60 years. They're perfectly cheesy, perfectly saucy, and they're exactly what you crave. Get to know the true Chicago style with Connie's Frozen Pizza. Born in Chicago, loved by cheeseheads. Available in a freezer aisle near you.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Lasagna chimes in on the Carb List Talk and Text line. List is more, 800-990-3776. Get in there and play a little grab ass, you little Gen Z.
I'm good.
Grab ass.
It's a fun game.
What?
Just joshing around in the locker room.
Just jaw jacking.
So I told y'all this weekend.
Jiving.
I hung out with my girlfriend's guys that she went to high school with for her birthday. And boy, they had way too much energy for my liking. A lot of
too much
grab
energy
ass.
for you.
Yeah, no, I mean, radio Kyle Wallace and I'm chill on my weekend Kyle Wallace are 2 different people. I don't need to be on 1,000 at all moments.
Especially dudes you don't know.
Yeah, they were on 1,000.
You know what I would do?
They were just excited to see
I would jump right in and start grabbing us.
I'm sure. I was like, bro, y'all got a lot. I'm just trying to look at the game. It was a lot of
Brad,
yelling.
you see it too. I pretend we're best friends.
Oh my gosh, I could totally see it.
Oh goodness.
Wow.
All right, let's hear Brad out, folks. Better be good.
They say punters are people too.
Punters are worthy of breaking news.
No, really, that's what they say.
Raising awareness everywhere that punters are people too.
Okay, let's go to it. Time to hear from the punter. Time to hear Brad out.
All right, guys.
Man, we're so in rhythm, Ben. We're so in rhythm. All all right, sometimes you guys know how these here Brad outs go. Sometimes they're, the Packers should do this, or, and it's an opinion. This is a business idea. So I want you to put your business hats on and think about if you'd be a patron of something like this. You guys are familiar with escape rooms, right? Wildly successful escape rooms where you're dropped somewhere and you got to escape.
What do you mean drop somewhere? I've actually gone to an escape room in like the Milwaukee area.
Yeah. I mean, drop some, they put you in a room.
I've done it in Madison. Okay.
So think of an escape room. I got a new idea. How about a heist room? Everybody loves a good heist, right? More than escape, men especially love heists. Think about the movies. Ocean's 11, The Town, Italian Job, Inside Man, even a movie called The Heist. There's something about a heist that gets the blood pumping. I'm thinking about.
Did you say Inside Man?
Yes.
Yeah, I like
it's a great
that
movie.
one.
Great movie. We all love heist movies. I was watching one this weekend. That's what prompted this idea. But we don't really want the blowback of getting caught in a heist. So you can have the adrenaline rush and the fun without any of the blowback.
This is going to lead to people stealing more things because they're going to like the heist so much.
You get it out of your system. And here's what I'm thinking of. I'm going to even include some partners into this. How about this one? I'm thinking like an Indiana Jones themed one, right? Where you're going through the tunnel, you got the arrows going across you, and you know like Indiana Jones, he tries to take the idol, and it's on the thing, and he's got a sandbag right here, he's got to switch it out. Well, that on the idol, right, that's a carbless. That's a pack of carbless right there. And the best thing is, if you actually succeed in the heist, you get to keep the prize. So you get to keep the carbless. How about this one? There's a whole room where you break into Greg Marcus's office at Marcus Theaters, and you got to steal Marcus gift cards. And if you win, you get Marcus gift cards. How about this one?
Wait.
How about this?
We're stealing Greg Marcus's gift cards and hear Brad out?
Theoretically, yeah. They would be able to sponsor the room.
Send it to Greg. See what he thinks.
How about this? There's an American Family Field heist, right? Like The Town. And you got to work through Bob Uecker's area. You got to go through the dugout, and you got to steal Brewers tickets. And again, if you get them, you get tickets to Brewer games. How about this one? The Potawatomi Vault. Now that one, replicating Ocean's 11, you get to work your way through, and if you get it, if you find your way into Potawatomi's vault, you get $100 in free play, something like that. I say a heist room would be an unbelievable business ideas that businesses would get behind. You'd be able to go and actually earn something. And guess what? If you don't make your way into Potawatomi's vault, then you don't get the $100 free play. You have to come back next time. I think it's a brilliant idea. Think about us. Think about KBN. As a team building experience, we're trying to break into Potto's vault. That would be
Don't send this to Potto.
That would be a
I value Potawatomi Casino Hotel in our relationship.
That would be a thrilling adventure. And guess what? If we won, we'd all go to Potto together to celebrate. I think Heist Room, the next version of escape rooms. Escape rooms will be a thing of the past, and with the opportunity of pulling a heist. What do you guys say? Heist rooms.
Brad, you are as buttoned up as anyone I've ever met in my life, but you've never sounded like you've eaten something that turns your mind into mush on the weekend and brought the idea to us here during the show.
Does that mean it was a brilliant idea outside the box?
No, it means it was a good idea in your head and it just totally flopped.
No.
This is horrible.
How? You're not excited by this idea?
I
don't entirely hate it.
I don't entirely hate it, but how are you going to do this?
How are you going to do this?
Yeah, this is something.
No,
just like escape rooms, you create this environment. Yeah, Kyle, yes, please go.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Let's go, Kyle.
You got people like me. Listen, me and Brad, we're straight shooters. We're goody two-shoes, right? We can't think about stealing. Brad's like me. You ain't never stolen nothing in your life because
darn right.
Because you're scared.
You're
right?
telling me at self-checkout you've never done regular avocados that were organic?
No, that's criminal.
If anything, I walked out with something without paying for it on accident and going back, like, my bad, I accidentally didn't scare. Things happen on accident, but I don't steal. But to have an opportunity to be mischievous, right? To have the opportunity to actually steal.
So your inner souls want to steal things.
Oh, we always want to be dirty and nasty and have that thrill, but we don't want the punishment. We don't want to deal with the mental toll of knowing I did wrong. But this is basically making doing wrong fun. I always want to be part of a heist. We all like Ocean's 11, 12.
Yeah.
We want to do it. I love the idea. I love it.
800-990-3776. Great idea. Incredible idea.
Padness, Brad.
Brad, that is an amazing idea. I'm backing it 100%.
Let's go, KBN Nation. I'm telling you, I'm too scared to do it in real life, but to do it in a fake controlled
So
setting.
you're scared. You're scared to rob the vault of Potawatomi Casino Hotel.
It's like the purge.
You're scared to go into Greg Marcus's office and steal gift cards.
Yeah,
but to actually have something that you could steal in this fake environment and actually have it be a reward.
Yeah,
that's awesome because you can't just have it be, oh yeah, you escaped the room.
Nah,
Congratulations.
I need something for it.
Something of tangible value that's exciting. And guess what? It would get harder and harder. Like the Pato Vault, that would be the hardest one. Or the Brewers tickets, that would also be very hard. I'm telling you guys,
this
I'm
is a
onto
great
something.
idea.
Heist room.
How are you going to execute this?
What do you mean, how are you going to execute? He just told you they have these escape rooms already. People pay $20 to do the escape room. You pay money to do the heist room. You have a replica of an office.
Damn, you're all in.
I am all in. I will be robbing the fake vault for $100 every week.
It'd be
not the real one. I don't condone that. You spend a lot of time behind
and the
bars.
reason why the partners would love it, like Greg Marcus and American Family Field and the Brewers and Pato and Carbless, people get to experience their product. If they win, guess what? We all go to Pato and we all enjoy ourselves. We all go to the Brewer game. Heist room. You heard it here, folks. You heard it here first, folks.
Diana McGuanago, 800-990-3776 on the Carbless Talking text line. Your thoughts on Brad's Hear Brad Out?
I have two questions, though, for you. First of all, I love Brad's idea.
Yes,
you can
Diana.
count me in. And the second thing, what I want to know is, Ben, what's with you and slapping guys' butts?
It's a figurative thing,
No, it's
Diana.
not. No, it's not.
You're
No.
not actually grabbing the ass.
No.
You need to stop being a freaking hater.
Dirty D, he actually does like
There's
to play
some
that.
slapping.
Oh, shut up.
There's some.
You
like
do.
a little. Remember
Yeah, a little tap.
remember me and Chewy.
Tap.
Me and Mark Chamorro, as
Yeah.
we passed by each other, he gave me a little tap.
There's
Cool.
few high.
Yeah, and it was locker room boys.
Yeah.
He's been talking about it for 2 months now.
Yeah, it was electric. I've never felt so alive. Alex and Muskego, you're up.
Yeah, so a couple buddies and I were talking about this a couple years ago because in my one friend's hometown, there was an old bank for sale. And then in Mequon area, there was an old schoolhouse for sale.
Ooh.
We're like, hey, this could be a really cool idea. Our concern was law enforcement. Was the FBI or like police going to be like, no, yeah, you can't replicate robbing a bank?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm the responsible
No, they
one
do
here.
it in video games all the time. Stop it.
If you can do haunted houses and the crazy things in haunted houses, you can do a heist room.
I'm kind of with that because my mind went to haunted houses, and I was like, if you can pull that off, maybe a heist room's not that bad. Because I actually get scared in those. I wonder what Rob Domofsky will think. Joining us on video, you can catch Rob Domofsky's bold, bald, and beautiful head on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. Rob Domofsky of ESPN joins Kyle Bruston-Nortman next.
This is Kyle Bruston-Nortman.
And I'm going to quote the great Martin Luther King in this.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to bring up MLK. You know what he said? Oh, wow. He said, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. And you know what matters to me? Booing Craig Counsell and booing the Chicago Cubs.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Issues still abound. We have a crash in Jefferson County, westbound 94, about 2.5 miles west of Highway F. So watch out for that. It's on the left shoulder. We've got another crash on eastbound 94, the Moreland Road on-ramp. That ramp looks like it is still at least partially blocked, if not completely blocked, with emergency vehicles. We've got another crash on eastbound 94, right past the ramp right around Sunny Slope Road, off on the right shoulder. An earlier accident in Ozaki County has been cleared, but we're still dealing with a crash on 4394 northbound, right at the ramp from Holt Avenue, off on the left shoulder. That crash is there. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. And checking the TMJ for Storm Team forecast tonight. Snow early, clearing late, a low of 13. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a high of 20. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Loziga on 94.5 ESPN.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kesslers nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Ready for a win? Well, it's your year. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you could win over $2,000 in free play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. There's $300,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs this January. Yeah, we think it's your year. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old to play.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Kyle Bruston-Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Bold, bald, beautiful. ESPN NFL Nation reporter Rob Domofsky on Kyle Bruston-Nortman.
Joining us from his office, not at 1265, not after a press conference. It's off-season Rob Domofsky on Kyle Bruston-Nortman.
Welcome to my surroundings.
You look really comfortable. I've seen this view on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy before, and I'm very happy to have it on Kyle Bruston-Nortman. I'm going to turn it over to Brad because there's a lot of noise around his Hear Brad Out, and obviously you are the Hear Brad Out judge, jury, executioner.
Yes, you are, Rob. Now listen to this one. Now this is a business idea, so put your business hat on. So you know how there's escape rooms? I'm thinking of a change of an escape room. I'm thinking of a heist room. Everybody loves a good heist, right? Ocean's 11, The Town, Italian Job, heist. We all kind of like romanticize a heist. So I think a heist room would be absolutely thrilling. I'm thinking about even incorporating our partners into like a movie theater. You steal movie tickets into the Potawatomi vault and you steal like $100 play credits. Even you break into American Family Field, fictitiously, of course, and you steal Brewers tickets. And guess what? If you get it, those are actual tickets that we can all celebrate to use after the escape room. What do you say? Business idea, or not escape room, but a heist room.
Heist. Well, you're talking to a guy, Brad, that after watching the Italian Job went out and bought a Mini Cooper. So,
yes, Rob. Yes, you're a heist guy. I knew you were a heist guy.
I'm all in on the heist, man. Like every time Ocean's 11 or Mini Cooper or Italian Job comes on. Or there's a really great old-time heist movie called The Great Escape, I believe it is. Is that the train? No. The Sting with Robert Redford, I believe. Great heist movie. So, man, I've never been to an escape room, but I will sign me up for the first trial run at the heist museum or whatever we're calling it.
You're not running around with that bald head and a black ski mask around, Green Bay area doing anything heisty, are you?
I'm not. Me and Matt Damon aren't cutting out any floors and dropping safes down into to a boat or anything. But
so
love it, Rob.
Rob, I have a fascination with Goody's post-season presser.
Okay.
I believe it was towards the end where Jason Wilde had a back and forth, and we played it a bunch, so I'll summarize quickly. Yeah. Essentially, he talks about the urgency that this team needs to win a championship. Does that ring a bell? That answer?
Yep. I remember it. Yeah, it was the very last answer.
The way that he continued to say they and the players. Does he think he just built this kingdom and he has no, that he built the perfect team? I don't know. He just takes no responsibility. And I feel as if he needs to continue to go out of the norm, which I know is hard, right? We talk about this every year. Is he going to do something different, right? Obviously, Jacobs and McKinney were great signings. But the last time they made a splash was 2019 with the Preston, Zedarius, Amos, and Billy Turner signings. Is it going to be a trade? Is it going to be a signing? Will he do something to change the way that this roster is built and how he's doing it the last couple of years?
Well, it's interesting that you brought that up, Ben, because one of the stories that I've been working on this week and is going to run next week on ESPN.com is a look at Brian Gutekunst's plan. And if you think about it, it was really kind of and I have a scout who knows him well, quoted in the story as saying that Goody it was a 3-year plan once Jordan Love took over. And if you look at it, the guys that were drafted right before Love or right before Love became the starter, we're talking about that's the Romeo Dobbs draft class. Now Christian Watson was part of that, and his whole future might be up in the air. But that was supposed to be the year before any of those guys had to be re-signed. They were going to get the run with those guys. And if you remember back in the 2023 draft, Goody said, I think I asked him this. I said, did you kind of want to start from scratch and not bring in veteran receivers on purpose? And he said, yeah, I wanted those guys to grow together.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the same scout I talked to said that, that they're probably a couple of players away. And, Goody did a great job with that, with McKinney and Jacobs. But can he do it again? And I do think, going back and to look at that answer, that quote, he did say we fell short in some areas this year, but there was a lot of theys in there. I think it was a sense of urgency, not getting complacent, and what's out there next for our team if they're willing to sacrifice and commit to, I believe is what he said. And if I'm looking for one big thing out of this team, that would be it. Now, I think it was in the same answer where he said, I think it's time we start competing for championships. Now, I can see how someone might take that as, hey, it's on Matt LaFleur, it's on the coaches. I gave you the right guys. But I do think that they know that Goody and the scouting department knows there's still a couple of players away and that this is going to be a critical offseason considering they do have some salary cap room to play with. But on the other hand, I don't think he's going to sign a number one receiver because do you remember the quote in there, Ben, where he said teams that are historically heavily relying on one receiver don't do too well in the playoffs. So sure doesn't seem like that's his philosophy.
Rob, you just kind of repeated it, talking about Goody and being one player away. Do you think Goody realizes that it's him and he's the reason why they are players away from actually competing for this? Because when you look at the draft classes and you look at the production from some of the guys that are especially first round picks, they're not showing up the way we need them to show up. But do you think he had that realization where it's you know what? I have to be better, but then also I may need to explore free agency to fill some of these holes and voids that we have in the football team.
I'm sure he's not completely satisfied, Kyle. But I mean, if you look at the 2023 draft, guys that just finished their second year, Lucas Van Ness, huge disappointment. Well, what did they do? They fired the defensive line coach, and I'm sure it was for a lot of reasons, but one of which is that they think that they have more in Lucas Van Ness than he's given them. In that draft, you had Jaden Reed and Tucker Kraft and Dontavian Wicks and Carrington Valentine. That's 4 guys who played a lot of football for you. And I think you would consider pretty good picks at this point. You look at last year's draft.
But they're not game changers, though, right?
Yeah, but
like that's the problem. Like you need guys who can actually be game changers, wreak some type of havoc, and that's what the Green Bay Packers specifically are missing on the defensive seven, the front seven. Edrin Cooper, he might be that difference maker, but the front four,
Yeah, I mean, it's not for a lack of resources, though, and maybe he picked the wrong guys if that's where you're going with it. But yeah, I mean, they got to do better there, and I would assume that their top two positions of need, if they indeed draft that way, is pass rusher and cornerback.
Rob, you said that your scout mentioned that Goody had a 3-year vision, right? A 3-year plan once Jordan Love took over. Well, next year is year 3. In your opinion, do you think that this plan is on track the way Goody envisioned it, knowing what we know now?
Yeah, I do, Brad, because they've gotten a lot out of the first 2 years. Now it's a huge step to go from where they are now to being in the NFC Championship game and still playing this week for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. But I still think this is a team that's heading in the right direction. I mean, they have basically every starter except for Josh Myers back. Now, TJ Slayton's also a free agent. You could argue whether he's a starter or not. But Devontae Wyatt seems to have taken a jump there. They may not need to re-sign TJ Slayton. And they're going to have $45 million in cap space and, their usual allotment of draft picks. So I do think that it's positioned, a team that's positioned pretty well. But, it's been, 14 years since this team's been to a Super Bowl? Even though this is a different phase of that organization, at some point you got to get there.
Talking with Rob Domofsky here on Kyle Bruston-Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Rob, look, we're digging deep and we're taking the microscope out here because you just mentioned the 14 years of the length of time. We looked back since '98, and it's been the Packers, the Bears, and the Packers as the only NFC North teams to represent the North in the Super Bowl. And despite all the other teams, that's not the success that the Green Bay Packers in a franchise would want. And now I'm just looking at the 21 draft, right? It's 21's draft that would have been huge if these guys were really good because as you have a young ascending team, these guys would be the heart and soul of your team. Right. But you're looking at Stokes. Nobody wants him. Josh Myers, you just mentioned. Amari Rodgers was a disaster from the beginning. Yeah. Royce Newman, you just mentioned Slayton, and the rest, other than Isaiah McDuffie, are duds. And McDuffie's not a game changer, and obviously him being a 6th-round pick. So, it's been talked about enough where we don't have to list all the first-round players. But then I'm hearing it sounds like they're going to give the 5th-year option to Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt. Those are 2 first-round picks from the same draft. If you're going to do this plan, how am I supposed to feel like this plan is working in a way that you're going to have a championship team?
I wouldn't be so sure on the 1st or the 5th-year option on both those guys, though.
I hope not. Jason had the feel that was going to happen, but I'd love to hear your opinion.
They could, first of all, they could easily decline it and still have them for next year and then see where they're at. The player doesn't have any freedom in that. And as an organization, if you're not sure, you don't have to do it. Now you run the risk of the guy becoming a free agent. I would say this, the way Goody was talking about Quay Walker in his season-ending press conference. I think there's a greater chance they exercise his and not Devontae Wyatt's, but I'm not so sure that it's just a lock that they do both of them. The 2021 draft was a disaster. There's no question about it. That's easily his worst draft. And those guys are
they would be the staple of this core with these young up and comers, and there's really nobody leading the charge.
No, and that's a huge hole in your roster building there, and that's why they're in that position where they are. But I still think that it's look, this is an 11-win team. I know they couldn't beat the good teams. They were a good team last year at the end. They were a good team this year for most of it until the end. What they have to do is become a great team. It's interesting that you talk about the NFC North Super Bowl drought. I think other than maybe the AFC South, this is the longest any division has gone without making a Super Bowl.
Dang, fascinating.
This division.
Rob, one more before we let you go. When would you say was the best time to be born? We've talked about 60s, the late 70s, early 80s. Us being born in the late 80s, early 90s.
We were a mix of riding our bikes and going outside and playing with friends, but also had technology. But I almost feel like I wish I was born 5 years earlier, so I had less technology in my life because it's going to be the rest of my life.
When do you say the best time to be born is?
Oof. Well, I was born in the 70s.
You're an old.
I'm not so sure that was the best time. So I would probably say your generation, or maybe just a little bit older, because did you guys ever know how to use a phone that was attached to a wall?
Oh yeah,
As children for sure.
I remember them saying, "Oh, we got the cordless phone now." Right?
Yeah. So you can. So I guess my point is you can appreciate the advancement in technology, and if, in my opinion, the greatest advancement in technology in the last couple centuries is things that are wireless, things that are mobile. So if you lived without them and now live with them, I think you have great
appreciation. Yes. The bold, the bald, the beautiful, the wise. Rob Domofsky. Love seeing you on video on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. Love when you join us on Kyle Brust and Norman.
All right, guys, have a good one, and that's chalk another one up for Brad. I don't know where we're at.
Yeah, you usually end the segment with "We'll be seeing you," and I'm like, I don't know when I'm gonna see Rob, but we see him on video now. That's wonderful. We'll see you, Rob.
All right, we'll be seeing you.
There it is, Rob Domofsky of ESPN. Brad, get your picks in.
That's right. You're going to want to get your picks in with sleeper picks all week and all weekend, especially with the NFL championship games. You're going to want to download the Sleeper app, and you can be able to get an unbelievable special offer right now. Here's how you play. It's very simple. All you have to do is pick more or less on 2 projected players and their projected stats. If you're right, you can win up to 100 times your cash. And for a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just do a $5 play, and they're going to receive $55 in free entries. Here's how you get that unbelievable offer that I've taken advantage of, and now I use the Sleeper picks almost every single day. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D. That's my name, baby. And you'll get $55 in free entries when you play just $5. Sleeper app with code BRAD, B-R-A-D. Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms and use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
The Bucks have a snow day. Strofe has a great opinion and take here as to feeding off of Brad's horrible Here, Brad Out, what the city of New Orleans should do.
Hey, it wasn't horrible. Oh, the other one.
Yeah, last week was bad. Strofe's going to tell everyone how bad it really was.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Pull my baby out the goal. Yeah, get him out. Ain't no way in the world my baby going to get hit that many times with a puck.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
Romeo. This 3-syllable, you have to take the O out of the equation. That's too easy.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Iota, right? Not one iota. Iota.
Yeah, that's only 4 letters.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
Let's pretend you're a first-time listener to Wilde and Tausch. What the hell is this? They're discussing syllables.
On 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Kevin Moret for Mentality. Most new Mentality clients are stuck running on just 1/3 of the free testosterone they need, and that's why nothing feels right. You're drained, frustrated, and stuck in a body that won't respond to diet or exercise. But it's not your fault. Mentality's doctors specialize in fixing the imbalance. When your free testosterone is restored, everything changes. Your strength, your energy, and drive all come roaring back. Start the year strong with our New Year's offer at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
Do we need to start the Andy Reid GOAT conversation as it relates to Belichick? Is that conversation up for grabs here?
I mean, it should have started already. I mean, Andy Reid has won 100-plus games with 2 different franchises. So it's not as if it's a situation where he just became a good coach when Patrick Mahomes arrived into the NFL. He's been doing it at a high level for a really long time. Where they went to 4 conference championship games with the Philadelphia Eagles, got to a Super Bowl. So even though he hadn't had the high-end success, even though he was the bridesmaid, never a bride, we all knew that Andy Reid, from an X's and O's standpoint, was one of the best in the game. Now, game management used to be his Achilles heel, but not anymore because we're seeing it with the Kansas City Chiefs. This team is used to being in and winning close football games. So, yeah, I think we're going to start having that conversation about Andy Reid, and the volume on it is going to get ratcheted up louder.
Shop can't miss deals going on now during Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. For a limited time, get a free adjustable stand when you buy a DeWalt 12-inch miter saw. That's a $229 value. Plus, save $680 on a Midea 4-piece kitchen appliance suite. Now just $17.96. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Valid 1/13 through 1/24. Cannot be combined with additional discounts while supplies last. See store or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
Something amazing is happening in networking. Organizations are scaling with less stress. That's because CDW is designing and implementing intelligent HPE Aruba networking solutions that simplify and secure operations. With automation at the center of your data center, growing pains can be a thing of the past. HPE Aruba Networking and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Aruba.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust. Get your Golden Eagles essentials by opening Marquette checking from Wintrust today.
The 10th-ranked Golden Eagles led by as many as 27 points as they cruised to a 76-59 win at Seton Hall. After struggling from the floor the last two games, senior guard Cam Jones nailed 4 threes and rode to a team-high 19 points to go along with 4 assists, 3 rebounds, and 3 steals.
Cam Jones wide right. He'll attack. 3 in the corner. Good! That one he was shooting. He's 4 of 6 3-point shooting.
MU scored 23 points off 24 Pirates turnovers while notching 18 steals as a team, 5 of those coming from junior guard Chase Ross. Marquette moves into a first-place tie in the Big East at 7-1 and 16-3 overall. They welcome Villanova to Fiserv Forum Friday night.
This has been the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank, and the official bank of Marquette University. You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
The best place to further your health journey is the Princeton Club with 8 Madison locations and a New Berlin location. They have absolutely everything that you need to succeed. Free childcare with the membership, the cleanest health clubs in Wisconsin, and get that rate locked in right now. Get a great rate with the Princeton Club, and you'll be locked in for the best time to further your health. Once you get in there, you're going to realize how great you have it. You're never going to want to go anywhere else. Ben Brust, Brad Nortman, no Kyle Wallace, Alex Rolfe running the show. Why are you sitting in the producer's booth?
I'm getting ready. I'm getting relaxed. I'm back here chilling because, it's almost time for the 414 hour, so I got my feet up and I'm just getting myself mentally ready. That's all.
This is bizarre.
Why is this so bizarre?
Because we need you in here,
No,
Kyle.
we don't. Why are you trying to be so zany
He's
right
hanging
now?
out with me.
Yeah, I'm hanging out with my boy Strophy.
It's 2-on-2 now.
You got some real Gen Z energy.
Not
No,
3-on-1 anymore.
you have Gen Z energy. That's what it is.
You tell him, Kyle.
That's not me.
You literally have your feet up while you're supposed to be at work, sitting in this chair, bringing your best.
I am bringing my best right now.
All right, bring your best. What do you got?
All right, so right now I know what we got coming up in the 4 o'clock hour.
Oh, yeah.
What do we have coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, Ben Brust?
Yikes.
You asked Ben. That's your
I don't have
best?
my sheet in front of me.
That's because you're not here.
Oh, stop it, Bradley. I didn't know you guys love me that much that you need to have me in your presence like that. My goodness, grow up. Gen Z energy, you two, you needy ass men.
I feel like a father.
Seriously.
All right, children, we'll be back together.
You can't give in to the tantrum, Ben.
I'm just kidding.
Tantrum? You two are throwing a tantrum. I'm just trying to have fun and have a good time.
Kyle, you stay back here for the
414? No, they're going to cry the whole hour. I don't want to make these babies cry.
I think you should stay.
They'll probably report me to HR.
We're back in 2 minutes. We'll see if Kyle's around.
Don't remember what they said. I guess it doesn't matter.